What is up, you guys? Welcome back. So it's actually been a couple days here since the last time I shot a video on this, but I had to get some parts. They didn't have them in right away, but now they have parts. I can actually get to work on it. It needs, this is the John Deere. I showed you the maintenance on the belt, or the deck, and changing the blades on it. I actually got valve covers for it. This one actually doesn't look bad at all. This one over here is actually leaking quite a bit, which I had this one off at one point, and I think that's the reason why that one's leaking, so I'm not upset about it. Your oil filter is here. I got a new, they call it, I think, drain elbow. Got a new one of these. As you can tell, it leaks. I'm going to spray it off and change it. It gets changed right from there, but simply going to just drain the oil like normal out of it through this valve, which actually releases it down underneath. It's hard to show you guys, but it releases it down underneath there. So we're going to end up changing that. Your oil filter's right above it. Valve covers again changed today too. And then I got to change the air filter out of it. I'll clean it. So I'm going to show you guys real quick. It's easier if this is down to change the valve covers. Easier if it's up to do the oil change. So I'm going to put it back down and I'm going to show you guys the valve covers. I actually already cracked that side loose. This side wasn't on that tight. So I know that I shouldn't put them too tight now. And I'll catch you guys when I got this back ready to take it apart. Okay, so we need to, as I said, I already got this one loose. Brandy, you want to grab the bag of parts? I'm going to just throw the bolts up here. I'm only going to do one side of these at a time. These are a simple 10mm. I don't know where the is right there. These are a simple 10mm bolt. I already loosened them like I said. So simply 2 screws on these. This wire, which yes, there's a little clip there that folds it. This actually goes down to the starter, so if you're worried about it, just keep it out of the valve cover. Make sure that it's out of the way. The valve covers are weird because I don't know the valve cover gaskets they gave me. Okay, so that one is torn, but I don't know if that will cause the problem. But in here is where the valves are, and it's very clean in here. Like I said, I've maintained this, so I'm not too worried about it. So the gasket simply should just pull off. If you want to pull one of those out, should come out of that too. Yeah, this gasket is completely just breaking apart. Yeah, that thing's seen better days. So this one, I don't know if it's going to have the 2 holes in it for this, but I'm going to throw this out because, yeah, it's completely breaking and deteriorating. I'm going to come over to my workbench here. So, on this valve cover, I'm going to try and make it look as nice as I can. I need that container over there, Brandon. Can you please grab me that?
Which container?
The one on top of the paint. So yes, these new ones do have screw holes for this. I don't know if weight matters. I should have paid attention. I think the round edge goes up and the smooth edge goes back. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to put it in a bucket of mine and simply clean it. Because either the brake clean or the carb clean, whichever one of those works. So in here, in my bucket, we're going to simply just basically apply over the bucket so that if it drips, just try to get the majority of this thing if you're gonna do jobs, try to clean everything that you're doing. There's no point in going back and having to clean everything again. Yeah. I need my towels, which are right here. Yes. If you have the cleaner, I just use brake clean. It's nothing important. You just want to try to clean up the surface of it, make sure everything's clean. Try to keep I need, where did it go? Up there by my soda, Brandon, there's that razor looking thing. So basically I'm just going over this whole thing and trying to get it clean. And then if you have one, I do, I'm going to use it. This is a mower again, so it's going to end up getting dirty and everything, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But for the majority of it, I'd rather do it. Now, if you have one, I have a razor blade scraper, and you're just going to simply gently scrape the surface to make it clean, because there's old gasket material on it. And you basically don't want that on the new gasket. So if you put the new gasket over that, it will have problems. So make sure your gasket surface is nice and smooth, as mine is now. Alright, so after that's done, I got genuine parts here from John Deere. I go to a John Deere dealer and get my parts. I made this dirty, so I'm going to try to clean this off a little bit. Don't break this new gasket, as I found out they're very fragile. So, like I said, it seems both of them are the same part number as well. I'll give you guys a part number off of them. Basically what I'm going to do to keep this aligned to put it on is I'm going to take the screws that came with it and I'm going to simply feed them through the valve cover, put my 2 fingers on them, flip it upside down, and put the gasket right over those screws. And then I'll flip it upside down and put it again. Make sure your gasket is on and it's not flaring out anywhere, which mine does not seem to appear to be. We're going to thread these in by hand until they're snug, and then we're going to use a socket to do them the rest of the way. But yeah, this is one thing that which I've been needing to do for this mower. Like I said, I had this valve cover off to do fuel maintenance on it, so I think that was one deceiving factor that caused it to leak. Now, surprisingly, there is no torque spec apparently on these. I did try my torque wrench at 20 Newton meters, and that was too much. It was literally not even on that tight, so I'm just going to do the same thing. I don't see Loctite on these, so I'm simply going to just give them a little bit of a snug. See that gasket, make sure gasket's seated and it's on there. And that's about how that gets changed. And I just got to do that other one. It's about rinse and repeat process. I'm not going to show you guys that, it's kind of boring. But I'm going to get this one off and change this one. And then I'll catch you guys back when I'm down there to do the peacock. I think that's what they call it, at least. Okay, so I am back. Valve cover is done. They literally take a few seconds. This one took me 5 minutes, not even. You undo these. I just snugged them up. I didn't really, there's no torque spec, like I said, so I didn't really torque them down too much. The new covers are, where's the part? Oh, I got them up here. I showed you guys the genuine part. I don't have the part number on it. 11-061-1426, and this is the same part number for both. It is a Kawasaki motor in it. Genuine John Deere parts. Like I said, me and my dad don't cheap out when it comes to this mower. We get everything through John Deere. Now we're going to drain the oil on it and get that changed. I'm not going to take this peacock off with the... I'm trying to think of words. I'm not going to take this peacock out until I drain the oil, because the reason why they have this peacock is so that it drains straight down and not out and onto this. So that's why I'm going to drain that out right now, and then I'm going to put the take this one off, which I'm going to show you guys, and then I'm going to put the new one on. So what we're going to need is, I think, another 10. I think that's all these are. Yep, 10 millimeters. So we're going to take this, like I said, this is a 10 millimeter. We're going to crack this loose, and this should... Now I can't ratchet loose. Right. Alright, so all you do is loosen this screw. And after you break it loose, you can basically get it by hand. Which this one's gritty. I gotta get my socket. Sometimes you can't get a grip on something, you use a socket. Makes life easier, but basically when you loosen this, oil should at the bottom. Which, there you go. You guys can't see it from, oh, that was something that it does. Don't do that. It sometimes runs onto that metal. Which, this is another reason why I get another thing like I did on my tractor. Pull out the dipstick, and that will release pressure for the crankcase, and that will allow it to flow. So as soon as that's done draining, I will catch you guys back, and we're going to change the peacock. I gotta get a wrench for it, and then I'll catch you guys when I got that done draining. Because I like it done draining, like I said, so it doesn't make a big mess. So catch you guys in a little bit. Okay, so we're going to figure out here, because I don't have patience to wait for this thing to keep draining. But I did crack that loose. So it actually is a two-part piece. This is basically like a... I don't remember how you use the term. But it basically, this is the compress it and hold it so that it won't unthread. And this piece actually just threads in. And then you use this to basically compress it and hold it in. It is a 1-inch nut. It's a very big nut. 1 inch. And so this probably is going to make a mess, but you're going to turn this. Actually, I could just compress this and screw this back in to stop it from draining. Brandon, can you get me the carb clean so I can blow this off and get this clean so they don't have dirt? Try to keep, if you're going to mess with internal stuff of the engine, try to keep the area clean that is around the engine, so that you don't have any of that dirt or grime go into the engine. But I can tell you that wouldn't be a good thing. Are you telling me how? So it turns out on mine, which I don't think is a problem, I'll just forcefully put it over, but it's hitting the frame. So this might make a big mess, which big messes are always fun. So yeah, it is going to make a big mess. Oh, of course. All over the frame. That's what it used to do. So it's fine. But that's a big hole. You shouldn't have to put any thread locker or anything on this. You should be able to just thread it in. I'm actually going to just let it keep draining like it is. Like that. Make sure it gets all the oil out. And then I will catch you guys when I got the next one put in. I might try to take that one off. This is a part number for this valve. TCA17360. And that is for the drain valve on these. Again, I'll put all the part numbers down in the description so that you guys have them. But it's pretty much done draining. It's reverse of the removal. Basically just thread it in. It will go. Which it might actually not go because it's going to hit the... This might be a bigger job than I thought because... Hold up, yeah. The actual drain portion of it that was hitting the frame originally, you see on the new one, the drain nipple is actually longer than the old one. So I might actually have to pull the engine forward somehow to get it in. But I'm going to figure this out and we'll go from there. Yeah, because that's in and that's going to hit that. And we're not near where we need to be. So let me figure out what I gotta do. Okay guys, so I've come up with a solution. Now, in my case, I don't use, so the reason why they have these is so if you want, you can actually put a hose over this and drain it with a hose so that it doesn't land on the frame. In my case, I don't ever use the flared part of this. So instead of cutting the mower, instead of jacking up the motor and doing all that work, it threads in as I saw, it just hits the frame. I'm going to take my chop saw and I'm simply going to cut this down so that this nipple is shorter and it shouldn't hit the frame. I'm going to do that and catch you guys after that because I'm going to let sparks fly and I'd rather have both hands on this. So let me do that and I'll catch you guys when I got this cut. Okay, so I just cut that down in length, so hopefully this should just thread right in now without me having to cut it any further. Chop saw didn't work, yes. Chop saw didn't work. Chop saw was actually too, I don't want to say dangerous, but the way my setup in my shop is, I just couldn't get a good enough I couldn't get it on enough where I felt comfortable with my hand there. We're just going to snug that like that, which is about down. It doesn't have to be perfect, but after you get that about down, thread this back nut up against it, and then you take your 1 inch and you just snug it up. So I gotta add oil and I'll tell you how much this thing takes. Well, we gotta get this off, which this isn't that hard because I don't put my filters on tight. Now this is what makes a mess because it drains right onto the frame. I need the carb cleaning gun burn. This is a oil filter AM107423. That's the oil filter that goes on this. Again, this is what makes a mess. Everything makes a mess now with this thing, but the new oil filter, as I said, that quart of oil up there, Brandon, that should be 30 weight. SAE 30.
SAE 30?
Yeah. Is it new?
I don't know.
Yeah, sort of. So, I'm going to take my pinky, because my pinky fits in the new oil jugs. I'm going to take some new oil, and I'm going to, I showed you on my tractor, just lubricate the seal. These filters I have, I buy them in bulk, so they sit around for a while, but I lubricate the seal up, and then you just simply thread it back on. And that's how the oil change gets done on this. Boom. Again, I don't put it too tight because I don't want to fight with it in a year to get it off. And then after I get all that done, I simply take carb clean or any kind of degreaser and try to get as much oil out of the filter housing as I can. And then just get as much oil off of there. And then you simply just take a rag and dry her off. And this mower needs another bath. I've been giving it a bath every year because this thing loves to leak oil. So that's why I'm trying to fix all these oil leaks. But, you know, simply just keep everything clean and it will be pretty nice. And that's as simple as how I change the oil on this. I think it takes 2.5 quarts. I think. I'm not 100% sure, so I will tell you guys as soon as I get it changed. I'm going to try to keep an eye on this oil filter to see, or this peacock to see if it is leaking. Because I don't need a leaking peacock, as it already was leaking. And you can tell on a mower if something's leaking by how much grass buildup is on the stuff. Like I said, there's a... I told you guys I couldn't really show you, but that seal right in there is leaking. So this whole cover is probably going to end up getting resealed. But this whole clutch assembly has to come off. So instead of fighting with it all at once, I'm going to do it, the clutch and everything at the same time. But right now I'm just doing oil changes, oil filters, stuff like this. I'm going to have to cut this into 2 videos because of how much maintenance is being done to this. But I'm going to put on that belt, which goes up here. I'm going to show you guys simply how to change that. I got to close this cover though and fill it with oil so I don't miss a step and forget about stuff. So let me get the oil filled and check it and make sure that nothing's leaking. Okay, oil's topped off. I just checked it and ran it. It takes 1.8 quarts is what this took, right around there. And then if I show you guys, I'm going to show you off the mower. It should be, sometimes it's easier with the back side, you can see it better. But it's right there. So 1.8 quarts went in it. Valve covers aren't leaking. That plug ain't leaking. So I think the mower, for the most part, the oil change is done on that. Now I need to change that belt, which I'm pretty sure that belt, here's where I'm talking about, it's all dried out and getting old. I'm pretty sure it's just that bolt. Let me get over there so I can show you guys. Right here, that golden bolt. I think that is what has the tension on it. You're gonna put a wrench on it and pull this way, and that shouldn't release the tension where you can get this off, and then you're just gonna feed it around stuff, I think, to get it off. I don't know if, I don't think it goes underneath that bottom tensioner spring. Otherwise that spring's gonna come out off, which is gonna be even more of a pain. But I'm gonna just try to get a socket on that and loose that. And if it works, I'm gonna show you guys in reverse order. Okay guys, I am back. It's been a while. It's actually starting to get dark. I had to run over to our neighbor's place and work on a project, which I'm going to try to show you guys eventually. I had to order some parts for it and get that done. I did do the fuel line, or I was messing with fuel line. The belt on here, which I said. So you're going to basically put the ratchet in tighten, and you're gonna take a 15mm and pull on that this way, and then that's gonna loosen it. That belt comes off, and then you can slide on the new one the same way it came off, And then that's been the maintenance on it. This intro for the next two videos, because I'm going to have to split this into two videos, like I said, because the video is going to be way too long if I just do it as one video. It's going to be like over an hour, and I'm trying to keep my content around 20 minutes for you guys. So hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, make sure to follow me. I go live every time I get the chance to. And until next time, guys, it's been Noah's Vlogs. I actually changed the channel now to Noah's Little Workshop. If you guys like the change, let me know. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. I got to get heading home. It's late and edit out these videos.